Into this wailing worm, he breathed the spark of life. They was calling humans a wailing worm. That's when you niggas was psychotrops and psychotropes and yeah. He said, into this wailing worm, he breathed the spark of life, which instantly permitted him to stand up and speak. So, what's the moment? Because, you know, I hear a lot of niggas talking about we evolved from the cannabiotopes, then the rabiotopes, then the sabiotopes. But they need to understand what makes you is your soul. And animals do not have souls. What you're talking about is psychotropes and narcotropes and ragadopes are animals. And though the physical DNA may lead the lineage there, the moment of enlightenment in man was a spiritual act. And that spiritual act was when your consciousness became it. That's when you got that divine spark of light. Now, you can talk about many philosophies of when this moment was. So if you physically look back, if you use physical earth science, you're going to probably see a lineage of a monkey in man, because your consciousness has taken over this particular entity. Just like a wolf can be related to a dog, or a lynx to a cat. You get what I'm saying? A monkey to a man. Yes, I give you that. But what you are isn't from the essence of the monkey. What you, like Keanu Reeves said, my body is from the essence of a monkey. You had to wear some sort of outfit down here. So your soul chose this particular garment for your consciousness to emerge in with your soul. And they're describing it here in Gnosticism. They're saying, the true God, seeing the error, this horror crawling on the face of the earth. So he's saying man was already there. And there's other ones that tell you man was already here on the earth, threatening to populate it, threatening to make this motherfucker what it became now, without consciousness. Imagine this whole motherfucker with a bunch of helianthropes beating each other over the head. He took pity on the ineptitude of the angels. So he's basically saying that these motherfuckers were stupid. This demiurge, this is some younger angel shit. There's a book called The Spirit's Book by Alan Karnak that teaches you about there are more advanced and more or less gods and goddesses doing dumb shit. Dumb shit with matter, basically. Threatening to pop, he took pity on the ineptitude of the angels. Into this wailing worm, he's talking about you, or man. Mm-hmm. He breathed the spark of life, that's the soul, which instantly permitted him to stand up and speak. Talking about consciousness. They're telling you there's a spiritual moment of your consciousness, not an evolutionary moment. That bullshit Darwin's telling you and you buying into that shit. Mm-hmm. There could be a physical, I'm sure there's a physical evolution that can be traced in the physical DNA. It does not speak to your consciousness or spirituality. You're thinking consciousness evolved. That's where the hype comes in. Mm-hmm. Man evolved, and even monkeys can use hammers. So you may have seen the trioblodope or whatever using tools and thinking that was somehow a part of his evolution. And maybe it was, you get what I'm saying? But that's not the evolution that jump-started man into a whole different aspect of what we consider man today. Mm-hmm. Because if we're from the monkeys and we've been here millions of years, how come no other form of monkey has also come up with a higher form of intelligence? Mm-hmm. Only one monkey was standing up, and they that stood up upright.
Well, and when they look back and, trace civilizations, it was like there was nothing, and all of a sudden
then it pops up. Right. There was nothing, then all of a sudden there's pyramids and all the shit that's popped up. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden motherfuckers is eating with bowls and spoons and and there was nothing, then there's something. Right. Because they're telling you about a moment, and here you have it. They're speaking about this in this Gnostic scriptures, and mind you, the Gnostics got all that shit out of Egypt. This is later day Egyptian motherfuckers. So it instantly permitted him to stand up and speak. Homo bipedius Liqueus was born. God endowed him with a spark, a luminous fragment of the supreme power. So your soul is a fragment of the supreme power, and it's what's calling you home. So the idea, let's just say there's a big ocean, you have a drop of that in you down here. So you are also able to join that ocean again. See, in short, by living a counter life, that we may triumph over this material and spiritual order of this world.
What?
Counter life.
Okay.
So everything, this is how you figure this shit out. Everything that people are doing, black people too, do the absolute opposite.
Right, grab a Snickers.
Grab a Snickers. Now, we know you can't survive off of Snickers, but the idea of I don't eat Snickers because I'm supposed to eat kale, when you're so rigid that way, or that's what you're doing, that's what you don't want to do. You're thinking. It's not so much you eating Snickers just cause it's a fucking Snickers.
Right, it's understanding.
It's understanding that kale is not going to get you out of this.
Right, it doesn't make life better.
It doesn't make life better, and it's not going to rescue you. It's not your ticket out of here. It's not your ticket to anything. It is just what humans are doing. The era of the angels, of those who sought to reproduce a model of the luminous archetype that sprang from the intellect of the true God, resulted in a variable abortion being praised upon by matter that was still a virgin in the state of pure gestation. So they said basically a place like this, it didn't have time to become real. So this deity and these angels, these archons, these 12 zodiac, in their recklessness, in their clumsiness, who sought to reproduce a model of the luminous archetype. Remember, so they was trying to copy what they seen above them in higher worlds of the true God, of us. What's your soul, your real world,
the real realm,
the real realm of where you are from. They tried to copy that, and it resulted in what they call the abortion, meaning the baby was born too quick. Being praised upon matter, still in a virgin state, still in a state of gestation, pure gestation. It's too early. This is too early. Matter is a beginning state of something greater. So Sophia, that's their name of their great mother. Sophia, where you even get the word philosophy, called the Piece de Sophia. Brief intrusion into the splendors of Pleroma, not without a sequel. She was made pregnant by the plenitude, the numerous, and gave birth to a creature. Now in Necronomicon, they call it Shub-Niggurath in 1,000 young. That gives out 1,000 young. That creates 1,000 dimensions or smiths, which represented aspects of everyone's ego. But I do a whole breakdown of all the Necronomicon and kill you with Shub-Niggurath. So what is the redemption of Shub-Niggurath? Baphomet. The illuminated person that now, instead of trying, see, you are giving out 1,000 young each time you give your energy to humanity. That represents the Shub-Niggurath energy. You know, do this, stay in school, do that, do this, eat. You're just constantly just giving out your energy, trying to educate people all around you. So when you take your energy and stop giving it to humanity and bring it back in, that's when that light raises up to the mind, as in Baphomet. So Shub-Niggurath is the primordial version of Baphomet, where they said she was fucking any and everything, having all these 1,000 youngs. And I go through more detail of that in the book, you'll see. But she gave birth to a creature. I say creature, for this being born of a glimpse of a forbidden world, had all the characteristics of an inhuman monster. Talking about her son, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, the god that niggas is worshiping. That's what they call him, a monster. And so inhuman indeed that his own mother dared not to look at it or touch it. It was from this monster man was born. From this monster. Niggas don't even know what they are. This is a monstrous creation, your human body. One would not exist without the other, for it is precisely because the premature and pathogenic birth of a natural conception that we are cursed with a heavy or plagued body and a slumbering psyche. So he said, just as your psyche must slumber, You can't be here and know your shit. You have to learn your shit. Because one can't exist without the other. You can't have a human body and know what you are.
Right. To
have a human body is to be dumb. So the slumbering psyche is one can't exist without the other. But we're also blessed with the spark of divine light. That's the hope, your soul. The organs, sense, ears, eyes, and taste buds that perceive only a fraction of sound waves and lights, and the savors of the cosmos. It is not our skeletal, nervous, or circulatory systems that condition us unjustly, because they limit our perspective field, but our whole psychology, the very exercise of this vital, organic, and physical functions, which clouds and obscures our life. So they're saying it's not even the limit of just the body, your psyche, your very psyche, the best it has to offer is still limited as long as you have a body. That's where you get this concept. You got to go on faith, but faith on what you know. So you're able to get into what you know spiritually, but that's even still a limit. And you know it is. That's why you can only astral travel, wake up and go, damn, I got to do it again. I got to smoke a herb pack. I got to drink this liquor. I got to go on this retreat. I got to meditate. You got to do all of these things
to get a little snippet,
to get a buzz. This rectified worm, that is man, cannot survive without destroying life around him. You can't.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Like a worm gnawing at rotten wood, the old beams, and expelling through his anus the corrupted product of his corrupting massacre, he absorbs filth through one end and rejects still more corrupt state through the other. You absorb filth through one end and eject even in a worse state through the other. That's some real terrible shit, which is true. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the best, before you even saying organic, before motherfuckers got all vegan, you still eating some nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, sheep and lamb or whatever. I don't eat pork, sheep and lamb. You know, meat eaters, it is some nasty shit. You know what I'm saying?
Even though, you know, to the human body, it tastes good.
That's the greatest part. And I'll do you one better. What's even more damaging as a human, and in this context, is when you go, well, I don't eat meat. All I eat is vegetation from God's trees. That's even deeper in the hype, because now you feel better as a human, that you're doing something superior. That's the real trick of this shit. It's none of this shit is superior. None of this shit is better than the next. It's all fucked up.
Right. There's nothing you can embrace.
Right. That's right.
It's gonna make you
the idea that you think that you're embracing something greater and doing something better than the nasty individual who's sitting going, boy, oh boy, these are showing some delicious ribs, that you are somehow superior. That's the greatest fucking trick of all. That's the greatest trick of all.